Good morning, Blue Lulus. How's it going? Wow. It's almost as if criminals gone crim. Now, the following video is purely for entertainment purposes only. Listen to it more like a poem than you would like a peer-reviewed article, right? I'm Gretchen. I am not Christiane Amanpour. But these are my top 4 theories about why yesterday occurred the way that it did. Number 4, he got too close to the fence. He might not have realized that the global economy was going to react the way that it did following his horrible, terrible, no good, very bad idea. And that's because he is surrounded by sycophants. He truly spends all of his time with people who bow down at his feet, endlessly flatter him, and the only people who have direct access to him are people who pledged him fealty. And now he's under this impression that everybody is like that, and he thought that everybody in the world, all the investors and all the everybody, was going to think it was a fantastic idea and that American manufacturing was absolutely something that could be done, right? But then all of these economists came out and said, hey, we actually don't have the infrastructure to do this. iPhones are going to go from $1,600 to $3,500. It's going to cost the average American person between an extra $3,500 and $5,000 a year, when 50% of Americans are unable to afford an unexpected $400 expense. And when the people who don't have an extra $400 suddenly are taxed with this insane consumer tax, they will just stop spending money. And that means that all of your rich investors, all of your corporations will not be able to make the profits that they need to continue to donate to you. And so that's going to be a bad deal. And so he said, oh, whoopsie doodle, and flipped it right back around. 3, he was worried about getting peaches thrown at him. Nothing has galvanized the people on the right the way that this abrupt drop in our economic standing has done. In the last 10 years, think of all of the BS that he has pulled, all of the crimes that he has allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, committed. And this is the one thing that made people go, uh-oh, nope, and abruptly jump ship. There were 10 people on the Senate side who said, no, we're going to take these powers away. And there's been 20 people on the House on their side who said that they're not going to go along with the CR and the budget resolution that they're trying to pass right this very instant. Nothing has changed the way that they feel about him as quickly as this has. And once the entire country is united against him, it's not night, because there is a plethora of high crimes and misdemeanors that he has allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, committed. They could just pick a crime, any crime, and it's it. So he recognized that he didn't want that snowball to continue to grow any faster than it needed to, so he whoopsie doodled and turned that ship right around. 2, market manipulation. This is not the first time that the Joker has intentionally tanked the stock market, right? I was watching Rachel Maddow, and she said that 9 of the 10 worst days in stock market history have occurred while he's been leader of Gotham City. 9 out of 10. And so he has likely learned from that when he says something or does something ridiculous, it will temporarily lead the market to dip, that he and his good old buddy old pals can scoop in and buy the stocks that middle and upper middle class Americans have sold, so that they can salvage whatever value that they have left in them. And then once the market rebounds, then those middle and upper middle class Americans are no longer able to afford those stocks. And so it redistributes the wealth from the middle and the lower class back up to the top again. And as long as the people around him know that what he's doing is temporary, they are faced with an amazing economic opportunity. And a lot of people went from being 100,000aires to millionaires in a matter of minutes, because the stock market had the biggest rebound that it has ever had in the history of ever yesterday. And that was one of the headlines. But it's still not as good as it was when he got into office, but it was a massive rebound. So anyone who did invest in the last couple of days made out like a bandit because of it. Representative Schiff is officially going to be opening an investigation into this, because that's illegal. Not that he cares. That man gets sued twice a day. Literally twice a day. Can you imagine being the person who's like serving those papers? Like, hey Joker, back again. You've been served. I will see you later this afternoon. Do you want me to pick you up anything for lunch? Big Mac, huh? All right, I'll get your usual. And number 1, mutually assured destruction. Now, we talked yesterday about the fact that Dark Batman has been doing the slow fade, right? He's been publicly criticizing the Joker. He clearly doesn't want to be part of the doggy department anymore, and there's been a little bit of rumblings about him leaving. And that's the thing about having someone who's super neurospicy in charge of the government, right? Because neurospicy people are multi-interested and multi-talented, right? That's why he wanted to do PayPal, and then he was an environmentalist, and he was big into tech, and then he wanted to be in space, and now they wanted to take over the world and become a Neo. You know what? But you could see that dopamine has officially worn off in terms of the whole government thing, and so he was publicly criticizing the Joker's policy on this whole trade deal thing. And I think since he's no longer that interested in maintaining this relationship, he said, fix this or else. Or else I will spill all the tea, because I have all of the receipts. I hold all the cards here. He might have even brought little Damien in with him so that he could parrot some more ridiculous thing, like, you're not the real leader of Gotham City. Remember that? That's because he tells him that all the time. He said, fix this or else. If I go down, you're going down with me. And then just like that, he whoopsie-doodled and turned it right back around. Now, I don't know if this is true. This is just for entertainment purposes only. But let me know what you think. Do you think it's a combination of all four of these things? Do you think one rings more than the other? What's your vote? I have to know. If you enjoyed this video, give me a like, comment, and a follow. Join the Boo Clan. It's nice and cozy over here. And as always, keep your eyes up, keep your feet on the ground. I'll see you next time. Ta-ta!